I live in a very black family with very black parents in a very Venda household. So, we used to eat meat like every day. And so when I told my parents, they're like, you think you're white now, don't you? What is up, everybody? Welcome to Growing With Me, where real is our norm and growth is our goal. My name is Morangi Faith, and I'm going to be your host for this channel. So, yeah, let's get started. So, as you guys can tell by the title of this video, I've been waiting so long to make this. Today we're going to be talking about my year-long journey of being a vegetarian. The reason why I went vegetarian, the experience, how it's been, and also some mistakes I made and some lessons I learned that I wouldn't want anybody who's considering going vegetarian to make, because why must we both suffer? Okay, so there's multiple reasons why I went vegetarian, but the first one has to be race food. So for those of you that don't know, I study at UP, and I stay in race, and oftentimes if you stay in a catered race, you get food from the dining hall. And so the meat from the dining hall, guys, it was just so off-putting. Like, it wasn't it. Like, people have mixed opinions on race food, and to each their own. Like, if you like it, good for you. If you don't, good for you also. But for me, it just wasn't it. Like, the race meat made me hate meat. And then I came back, after first year, and then I watched these two documentaries on Netflix. So the two documentaries which I watched, I'm gonna link them somewhere in the description box below. I love saying that. It just makes me feel so YouTubey. But anyway, I'm gonna link them in the description box below. I think they're both on Netflix. But the first one I watched was What the Health, and it was more so focused on like the effect that the over-processed meat that we consume today has on our bodies, and how it can cause like chronic illness and cancers and diabetes. And my granddad died from type 2 diabetes, so I was like, yeah, I don't want to go down the same route. I don't. The second documentary I watched was called The Game Changers, and it focused more on like pro athletes and high performance, people that like want to gain muscle and want to run fast and want to do all these things, which if you're into that type of stuff, I highly recommend you go watch, because oftentimes you think that I can't get muscle without the protein that I get from meat, which is debatable. And this is how I received it, and I was like, actually, I'm gonna give this a try. I did not go vegan though, because that movie is based on like going meat free completely. I still consume dairy. But yeah, it was a bit of an experiment at first. It was, because I remember when I finally, after watching those two documentaries, when I finally did decide to, okay, let me cut this meat thing off and see how it goes. I first started with a Daniel fast for like a few days, and then I just continued, and then ever since it's just been like, I like this. And I've never been a big meat eater, so it's not like, the only thing I feel like I'm missing out on is dunked wings. That's literally the only thing I miss. And pizza, like the one with the meat. You can still have a margarita. It's just not the same, but they still slap though. So yeah, I think those were my main reasons for going vegetarian. Number one, wrist meat was really off-putting. Number two, watching those two documentaries really changed my outlook on health and longevity, and how to prevent certain diseases and still optimize my performance in the gym still. But I wish I could say that it's been all smooth waters, fun times. It hasn't. I live in a very black family with very black parents in a very Venda household. So we used to eat meat like every day, and so when I told my parents, they're like, you think you're white now, don't you? And I was like, guys, please. And then when I go back to race, I saw the campus dietitian. This is now second year, right? So the campus dietitian, she asked me a few questions just to see where I'm at and how difficult of a transition it would be, and it really wasn't all that hard. So I really recommend seeing a dietitian before if you ever do decide to switch over to vegetarianism. Just like go see someone, get a professional perspective, and then they will list out all your, what are they called? what are they called? Those, like your carbs, your macronutrients. Yes, they'll list out all your macronutrients and then suggest certain foods so that you don't miss out on a certain nutrient. Like, so yeah, I do recommend like seeing someone who'll give you a professional perspective on things, someone who studied like the stuff and knows what needs to go into your body, what doesn't, and what you need, because it's very easy to consume one type of like macronutrient. Like, I know in the beginning I was consuming a lot of carbs, and you know, carbs are good, but you know, I wasn't supplementing for my fats, or I got my protein from like milk. I hope that has protein, but like, yeah, there were certain things I'd be missing out on if I hadn't gone and seen her first, you know, because you can't just, I love potatoes, but you can't eat potatoes every day, all day only. You need to get like other foodstuffs in so that, you know, you can build strong muscles and strong bones, all this nice stuff. So apart from seeing a dietitian, I think one advice I'd give to you guys is to meal prep. Mind you, this is for whoever ever wants to consider going vegetarian. Like, if you're just listening for vibes, shout out to you. But yeah, meal prepping is so important. Because being vegetarian is not that hard. Like, it's, you can have muffins and pancakes and chips, and that's still a vegetarian diet, you know. Like, you're not eating meat and any of those stuff, but you're also not getting a lot of nutritional value in any of those stuff. So one, you're going to consume a lot of calories with zero nutritional value, and then you're still going to be hungry at the end of the day, and then you're going to, I mean, I don't count calories, but you're going to exceed your calorie intake and still be eating nothing at the end of the day. And you know, you just don't want that for your body. Food is fuel, and you must use it to your advantage. You mustn't use it to break your body down. Do your meal prep, guys. Make sure you get all your macros in. Do a lot of research. You know, knowledge is power, and you can capitalize on it. So the benefits of being vegetarian, I'd say, I can't think of any like good benefits at the moment, because it does come with a lot of else. Like, I think I encounter more else than I do wins. But a part of me just hopes that, you know, this is like an investment into my health, and when I'm 60 I'll still be able to do the things that I love without having to worry about certain physical limitations. Because yeah, guys, the food we eat today is extremely over processed. So I think the next best thing is to just eat your vegetables and your fruits. Like, but then again, that's my opinion, disclaimer, don't come at me for it. But yeah, the biggest else in this whole thing is that you're such an inconvenience to people. Like, every time me and my friends go out there, I have to be like, oh, you're vegetarian, and I'm like, yeah, I am. Or when there's like a braai, and then my meat needs to go on first before everyone else, because, you know, yeah, I'm such an inconvenience to most of my friends when we go out. It's like, oof, now we gotta choose a place that has like vegetarian alternatives, because Meringue is vegetarian. And yeah, I mean, I like the special treatment, so I'm not gonna complain. Like, you treat me like the queen that I am. And then I think another L is coming back home, and then, you know, my parents just having to worry about like, oh, what is Meringue gonna eat now? Like, that's always their biggest stress. They call me and be like, yeah, are you coming home? I'm like, yeah, I'm coming home. Like, oh, okay, so we need to go buy you food. But then again, it's special treatment. So who am I to complain, right? Like, guys, come on. But then yeah, you know, here's to year 2 of being vegetarian. It's been an interesting ride so far. Wouldn't trade it for anything in the world at all. So yeah, that is it from my side. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed my bits and pieces of scattered information, and I highly recommend you go watch the 2 documentaries. And I don't know, put in the comments below if you like it, if you don't, if you've been vegetarian or if you've not, if you've ever considered the idea, or if it's utter complete BS to you. And like I said, guys, to each their own. Don't come at me, don't judge me for my life choices. I get so many people who be like, yeah, but like, why did you stop eating meat? And I'll be like, yeah, but you don't hear me asking you why you still eating meat. Like, let's just be like, I'm not gonna ask you a question. You don't question my life choices, okay? But then if you're asking from an earnest place of curiosity, then it's fine. don't ask me from judgment. But yes, that is it from my side. I'm gonna be signing up and out.